Good morning, family. I want to talk to you this morning about the heart of a champion. And it's a bit of a brief rant, so bear with me. So, good morning. This is Aunt Beth. Welcome to my lamppost. I got a polo this morning. I don't know if you know the app where you can send video messages from my prayer partner, and she was very upset because she had gotten a polo from one of her prayer partners out in the Midwest. And her husband's a coach of a college basketball team, and the kids aren't winning, so they are deciding that they really don't want to play. Well, wham. So let's talk about this. You know, you're not a champion because you win all the time. You're a champion because you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you get up and you try again. The feelings have nothing to do with it. There were many, many days, and I know a lot of unsung heroes. They don't feel like going to work, but their family needs to eat, and they get up and they go to work. Okay, I've been there. All right. I had a friend whose son and daughter both competed in swimming, and they were very good. But the moment I knew they were champions, when I asked how they were doing, they talked about their clock times. They started competing against themselves. They weren't competing against other people. They were competing against themselves. And they were using the statistics to get better. As much as you hate it, I hate it about critics. They can be your best coaches because they tell you where you need to improve. You don't like it? Sometimes the critics can be very cruel. You have to evaluate it and say, okay, is this something where I need to improve or something I can't do anything about? And focus on what you can do. I had a friend ever since first grade. He's passed now, but he desperately wanted to be a basketball player. And he was out there every day. And he was really good. Okay? Was only like 5'2". Couldn't do anything about his height. But he was really good. So, some things you can't do anything about. I competed for 40 plus years in a man's world. Can't do anything about the fact that I'm female. I just have to be twice as good to get half the pay, but we won't go there. You got to own this. You got to own this. You have to suck it up, get up, and do it again, and start keeping track of your stats. Most of college, there's a statistics very depressing that like 5 years after you graduate, almost everything you learned is out of date, except for the sciences, I guess, but everything you learned is out of date. Whoa. Okay. But college isn't about learning facts and things like that. College is learning how to learn. And for the parents that are scolding the coach because their kid didn't get to play, shame on you. You need to focus on, how can my kid get better? What are my kid's stats? How can he get better? Okay? And focusing or functioning as a team. That's the heart of a champion. Not because they always won. I mean, there's a famous statistic, I guess, about Babe Ruth that he had all these home runs, but he also struck out more than anybody else. And it just rolls off your tongue when you don't realize how brutally painful those failures were. But you start analyzing, okay, did this, did that, did this, did that, need to improve here. Start running your stats, and you're going to be the heart of a champion. You're going to have the heart of a champion. And eventually, the winnings and the street cred will show up. But you will be a champion. Some days, the best thing I could say is I got out of bed and I went to work. But 50% of life is showing up. So you're already halfway there. Okay? So what are you going to do with it? You need to own it. You need to own your own performance. I don't care if the rest of the team is caca. You need to act like a winner before you're going to become one. Instead of a spoiled child that's upset because you're not winning and you don't get to play. So you're going to take your basketball and go home. Come on. Grow up. Okay? It is hard. Life is hard. But half of life is showing up. Own it. Look yourself in the mirror and say, today I got better. If that means running more, if that means lifting more weights, build your endurance and muscle strength, if that means time in the gym, shooting baskets, whatever it takes. We're all champions on the inside, and we all got battle scars. But what's really important is not the fact that we fell, but did we get up again? Okay? We sit and cry about our boo-boo and want our parents to make it all better, and I'm not going to play. I'm going to take my marbles and go home. Suck it up, buttercup. And obviously, this extrapolates to all of life. Yeah, it's hard. Everybody we know is walking around with battle scars, and some are in the process of healing. Okay? But did I do better today than yesterday? What are my stats? Okay? So, this is the time for all of us to learn to be champions, overcomers. Have a fabulous day. All God's best.